Hi, Stampers. Oh, thank you so much for joining me. Maybe you're live, maybe you're on the replay. Either which way, I hope you check in. Please, I love seeing who is on the video with me. So, there are some comments. It depends if you are on your mobile device. If you're on your mobile device, you can just swipe to the side, and then that will bring in the comments and the likes and the reactions that you can do. I love seeing what you love seeing, so that I can give you more. So please give me your feedback. The best way of doing that is, of course, with those like buttons, those hearts, sharing this video, of course, with your friends. They don't have to have the projects to craft along with us to enjoy this video. And so I hope that, even if you don't have the projects in front of you, I hope that you stay on and that we can hang out together. If you do want some projects and you don't have them yet, please contact me because I've got limited extras available. And you can purchase these or you can receive them for free with a minimum $35 order. So definitely reach out to me. I might even have some on hand still, okay? So anyways, my name is Kelly. Thanks for joining me. Maybe you're watching this evening. It's Tuesday. And I can't believe it's already like the third week of September. When did this happen, I wonder? Since you've seen me last, I'm like a new woman. I now have my oldest in kindergarten, and that's a whole new experience. The learning curve is not just for the students, it's very much for the parents as well. And I am being bombarded by emails, which you parents, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And every day it's something new, and I'm being sent information about pizza lunches and things like that. Like, my son isn't even there for for pizza, or sorry, for lunch, like, let alone pizza, right? So anyways, it's kind of a gong show, but we're sorting ourselves through it. And of course, my son is just loving it. The first week was a little bit rough, but we got past that, and now he doesn't want to leave. So it's just the best thing ever. I'm so, so happy for him. He's already making new friends and learning so much and getting to play with other kids. So it's pretty special. Anyways, that's a little bit about me. My youngest, too, is thriving. She just turned 2. My eldest just turned 5. And she has really come into herself as well. So the 3 hours a day that her older brother is away at kindergarten playing with his friends, she's loving the quiet time, and I'm finding that she's playing with totally different toys, and we're getting to spend a lot of nice quality time together too. So it's very relaxing. Anyways, that's my life in a nutshell right now. My husband also went back to work just the day before yesterday. So yeah, big changes in our household, but life is good and I have no complaints whatsoever. And I'm so glad that we can be here through this virtual conduit, and here we are able to craft together or hang out together. It's just so much fun. Okay, I'm going to transition you over here to show you, we've got Sale-A-Bration specials on right now, and that's with every $60 order increment you can choose something for free from our Sale-A-Bration offering. These are not available for free with a $60 order. These are available for free when you sign up to be a demonstrator. So if you've ever thought, I'd like to have a discount, I'd like to access demonstrator benefits like getting to have special training sessions or access to information kind of sometimes beforehand, or even just to be connected with a whole group of other demonstrators who are like-minded in their love of crafting as well. This is something that you should really consider. So during Sale-A-Bration, which is on until the end of September, you can actually join and you'll get the fantastic deal that they normally offer, which is $165 of product, whatever you choose, and you only pay $135 with no shipping and handling or tax. Now during Sale-A-Bration, if you sign up before the end of September, you get to choose one of these bundles for free. And that's up to an $80 value for some of them. So if you had your eye on some of these, if you think you'd like to have a discount, If you have even thought maybe I could supplement my income by, sharing what I love with others, this is something to talk to me about, okay? And don't delay on it. Just ask me the question and we can get you sorted out and fill you in on all the information. I've been a demonstrator now for 14 years, and my only regret was not doing it sooner because I could have saved so much money. So I was intimidated thinking that I would have to be a full-blown demonstrator and holding classes and doing all those things, and here I am now, but that's not how I was in the beginning. So you don't have to look at what other people are doing and think that that's exactly what you have to do. I'd be happy to lay out the benefits and then even what you have to do to continue on being a demonstrator. But that starter kit is such a fantastic deal. It would be a shame to waste it. And why not get an extra bundle for free, right? That'd be great. All right, another little freebie. This isn't Sale-A-Bration related, but I modify my thresholds for Sale-A-Bration. So normally I give away one gift with a minimum $100 purchase. Well, during Sale-A-Bration, Stampin' Up! Gives you a gift for every $60 increment. And so I've upped my total, and with a $120 order, you will not only get Stampin' Up's 2 Sale-A-Bration items, you will also get 2 freebies from me. So up at the top there, you're going to see those beautiful iridescent pearls, and you will receive those, of course, regardless, from me with a $120 order. And then in addition to that, you get to choose something from the right hand column there. So you can choose the little coffin treat boxes. Those I think come in a pack of 12 or something like that. Or you can choose googly eyes, which you can enhance many different stamps with. I like the cute fruit stamp set that we used to have, and put those googly eyes on there. They're so cute. And then you could also choose those little epoxy stickers. So the pictures do not do those justice. They're really luxe looking, and they come with those little pearls on the top too. So let me know what you'd like. If you've placed a $120 order, you've already received it from me, but if you want to place an order, it's definitely not too late. So before the end of the month, you can take advantage of that. Now, let's talk here about one of Stampin' Up's newest kits. While you guys are all sharing this video with your friends and getting this all linked up, I wanted to talk to you about this Christmas Whimsy Kit that just came out. So I'll flip you down here and show you what's inside this kit. I love Stampin' Up's kits. You guys probably know this about me. I love them on their own. I love them to supplement other projects that I'm working on, because the picture, like the images and the tools, are often different than what we actually have in the catalog. So let me just show you here. We've got, whoa, that doesn't like that, hey? What's happening here? There we go, that seems to be better. We've got 2 different designs that come in the same kit, and I'll show you some of the supplies. But let's just talk about these instructions for a second, because these are awesome. They are really incredible visual instructions. We're visual people, right? Like, we wouldn't be have an interest in crafting if we weren't interested in the visuals of things, right? So I really love that they've modified those instructions to make them even easier to use than ever before. This kit comes with a stamp set. I should mention this kit is available for purchase by anyone. So we've got some great sayings there, wishing you peace, joy, and love now and throughout the coming year. Season's greetings and merriest Christmas to you. Then you've got up here some stars and also some snowflakes there. And it comes with a Night of Navy ink spot. So that's really great. You can complete your projects with that. And these are some of the backgrounds, which are pre-printed and also pre-embossed. Can you see the gold embossing on there? There's also these really fun, like navy blue snowflakes and stars. They're iridescent as well. You can hear my kids upstairs having a blast. These are pre-printed die-cut tags. I meant to actually make these today, but my other job got away from me a little bit. I had to spend some extra time on it today. So I haven't assembled them yet, but I definitely plan to very, very soon. Look at how cute these are. They just pop right out. They're laser cut. So no fussy cutting required. You just pop them onto your projects. And then of course you've got the envelopes, which you can, you know, stamp on as well. Some little snowflakes and stars would be cute on those. But I like the gold embossing, always adds so much excitement, doesn't it? And then look at this other card base. It has so much texture. Can you guys see that? Isn't it amazing? My camera seems to be doing weird things right now. I don't know why it's doing that. I hope you're not seeing it on your end. And then you got a block. You got some beautiful gold star stickers, some dimensionals, some beautiful gold twine, and some glue dots there too. So great kit. It makes how many? Let's see here. 8 cards, and then of course you got the stamp set, the block, and the ink spot that you can keep using. I think these are $28, and this is the first of the kits that are released that were kind of sneak peeked in our mini catalog. So this is the first one. It's called Christmas Whimsy, I think, or something like that. And they actually don't have any item numbers in here, so you're not going crazy. They're not noted in here anymore. It says to take a look at the current offering at stampinup.ca/kits, but you can also access that on my store, okay? This one here, I think, is a kit that's going to be released soon. They're kind of secretive about when they're releasing these things, so I don't really know when this one's coming, but I'll let you know when it's available for sure. So definitely take advantage of those kits. There's all kinds of kits on there, including all occasion kits too. I wanted to show you one of our other kits that we have. I shouldn't have closed that page here because I wanted to talk to you about Paper Pumpkin, and it's on that page here. So with Paper Pumpkin, this is a monthly subscription service where you get an adorable box like this with mystery projects inside, and it can be anything. It's mostly cards. This is unusual that this one is a 3D project. So let me just show you what's in this one. This is adorable Harvest Haunts Paper Pumpkin kit, and it makes these really cute little 3D boxes in pumpkins or apkin shape, apkin. That's something new I've never heard of. Apple shape. And then you can decorate them. It's got this awesome little twine in there which curls up, and these tags, all kinds of things. And then, I'll zoom this in here. You can see that there's a quite significant stamp set included in this one with lots of different sayings, 5 different sayings, and then you've got these leaves, the solid image, and then the little veins that you can stamp over top, and then a little swoosh. I love swooshy stamps like that. They're so useful for backgrounds. A fantastic ink spot is included here, the soft succulent. So that's going to coordinate with these kind of lighter colored pumpkin shapes. And this makes a total of 12 pumpkins in there. So I love that. Then to top it all off, I don't know if you guys noticed this. Did you know something different about this box? So when you open this up, you can see there's all kinds of shapes traced on there. And you're going to cut this out and you can turn it into a little wheelbarrow, which actually will hold your decorative pumpkins. Cutest idea ever. I love this. So get ready for it. I'm going to be posting some pictures when I'm working on this. It's so adorable. So I do have extra kits that will be available for purchase. Stampin' Up! Doesn't allow us to sell them until the next month. So let me know if you'd like me to reserve a kit for you. You can't get full kits from Stampin' Up! At this point. That could change, but reach out if you're interested and I'll make sure that you get a kit, okay? Whether it's one of mine or we, order one from Stampin' Up! If they become available. Also, refill kits will probably be available for this one. And so if you'd like to have all of the supplies for these pumpkins, not including the ink spot, not including the stamp set, then I think it's just $13, so plus GST and shipping equals $15, and you can make some really adorable pumpkins for very inexpensive. All right, there you go. That's our paper pumpkin. Now, I want to talk to you about paper pumpkin again and again and again because it's Sale-A-Bration time. It's the best time to get one of my favorite features about paper pumpkin, which is a month or sorry, a prepaid subscription. Oh boy, my camera is just not liking that focus there. Okay, that seems to be a sweet spot. Prepaid subscription plan. You can do 1, 3, 6, or 12-month subscriptions, and these are different than the month-to-month. They can be a better deal. I think they're usually a better deal than the month-to-month, but I love them because then you can receive free Sale-A-Bration items with your orders. So you can see for 3 months, it's $82.50. You would get to choose a free Sale-A-Bration product out of here. And that, if you're a club member, will count towards your 10% minimum host benefits that you are accruing over the 6-month period. So that ends up being a serious benefit. So if you are a current club member, I would consider adding a 1-month prepaid code that you can apply whenever you want. This is a code that can just sit in your email inbox. You get the benefits of it right now, you pay for it right now, and then it can sit in your inbox and you can apply it whenever you see a paper pumpkin kit that really catches your eye. If that's, what you like. I personally like the fact that every single month I receive projects that are designed by somebody else, and I receive all of the goodies to go along with it. So this is something that's really quite a feature to me. If you're interested in some of these larger ones, so the 3-month, the 6-month, the 12-month, you can pause your subscription. They give you a little preview in advance and tell you or show you what the kit is kind of themed on. And then you can kind of make your decision on that. We've got some little sneak peeks that they've given us right now. So you can see this is the current box that just came out this month. This is a sneak peek of the next month's box, and then the month after that, so November's box is what's coming. And we usually just get a little sneak peek, so that's kind of what you get, and you can make your decision based on that. But honestly, with the prepaid subscriptions, you can't go wrong, in my opinion, because Stampin' Up! Is committed to making sure that you are completely satisfied with your kit. So, if ever you are not, you just contact them and they honestly will just make it right. I have to just turn you upside down for a second and see if this is going to make a difference, because I'm just finding that it's a little bit blurrier than it was last night and what I'm used to. So it might be internet connection, it might be my camera focusing, I don't know. But let's just see here. Hopefully that gets better. So I'm going to transition you now into talking about the kit that you would be subscribing to currently. So if you've got a prepaid code and you applied it right now, so before the 10th of November is the cutoff, this is the next kit that you would receive. And again, the prepaid kits just start at $28, and you can even get, if you haven't gotten club projects from me, that $28 will count towards the minimum $35 threshold for you to receive these projects I'm about to create for free. So something to think about, honestly. This one is, I think, cards is what they've said, and I think it was about 12 cards. So let's transition you down now, and we are going to start crafting. So for those of you who have received project packets, they look like this, and you can start pulling apart your pieces. The first project that I'm going to make, you may or may not have. If you are on my mailing list, then you won't receive this project, because this is a special project that's for free when people pick up from my house. Basically, it's a perk. I could mail all the projects out to everybody. That would mean that I'm spending a lot of money on postage, and instead of spending money on postage, many of my customers love to pick up their projects from my front porch in South Edmonton, and then receive an extra bonus project from me. So I don't have to pay for postage, I can give you something extra for free. You can see there's little score lines here, so I'm going to just start pressing all of those in and folding them up. I'm not too concerned, I'm not using my bone folder here, because these ones just kind of go together so nicely. So I'm just talking away here. We'll get started. I hope you're following along, but I'll show you what we're actually going to be making. This is from a paper pumpkin kit from a little while ago. Let's see when it was. September 2019. So I have these refill kits available. If you are interested, you can definitely get some of these projects to make on your own as well. And they make 2 different styles of box. So I'm not really like a Halloween kind of card person, but I definitely give out little treats. I don't make these for all of my trick-or-treaters. That would be totally insane. But I love giving out special treats to family and friends. So these adorable little boxes are big enough to put a few lint candies in, or you can smush in some of those minis. And I just really like this cute little clip on the top that holds it together. You could make all kinds of cute things in there. I am so excited that at a small little vendor show, it was an art walk, I ran into a woman who had made all these adorable little bath bombs, and they were in all these Halloween shapes. So you still get the fun of Halloween without the crazy sugar and the crazy kids that go along with it. So I'm really excited to do up some of these treats for my kids, and maybe even my nieces are out because their parents are going to give them the same treat, because I was there with my sister-in-law. But for other little kids I know, I think that this is going to be great, and what a fun little way to give a little bit of Halloween cheer, right? Without any more candy, because we sure get candy a lot, but you know, you might want to give your friends candy too. I don't know. I think candy is always good too. Chocolate, right? Chocolate. Okay, I'm going to start with putting the one in that looks like it has little legs. Then you put in the triangle ones, and then you're going to put in the one that is a little bit more pointed, and that one holds the whole bag together, and then you don't have to worry about any adhesive at all. So just for the sake of this, I'm going to seal this all up. If you don't want to, you can definitely leave it open, or if you do want to seal it, then you can open it up later. It's not like it's totally sealed. Now you'll notice this is a really small tag, and it goes along with the stamp set that was included in this paper pumpkin. Unfortunately, I don't have any more of these available for purchase. I don't have any more of the full kits. I do have refill kits, but nothing that includes the stamp set. So you might want to just save this tag for later. You definitely can stamp on it later. The coordinating color that came as an ink spot in the pack was gorgeous grape. This is my full size. This didn't come in the pack, but that's our coordinating color with this purple. So what they have done, or what they've recommended that we do with the kit instructions, is a little bit of stamping here. Can you guys see that? Oh, I think my camera's fixed itself. Whatever issue it was having, it's over it now. That's good. But yeah, you can see they've done a little bit of stamping on the background there, and that was just with that little skull and crossbones. So feel free to do that if you would like to. This stamp set had all kinds of really tiny sayings. So if you have previous paper pumpkin stamps in your possession, you might want to dig through them and see if you have this set or a similar set. What I find is these paper pumpkin kits come with these awesome little tiny stamps that you'd maybe not get as a full, like you wouldn't normally purchase them as a full stamp set, but they're so handy to have. So, oh, thank you. I just got back to my comment section, and now I can see that you guys are commenting. Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks, Linda. It's so great to have you here. And now what I'm going to do, I'm not going to stamp on this because it's a black background, so I can just leave that as is. You might have this cute little skeleton. That's a die cut piece or a laser cut piece that you just pop out. The other option that you might have is this really fun spider web with the skull and crossbones in the middle there. I love this. I put this skeleton man on with some mini dimensionals. I'm going to put this little beauty on with a glue dot just because I am lazy, and glue dots really stick well, so I keep my glue dots like this. Let's see here, I might have to, yeah, that's all right. I can just put it behind his little head there. I don't know if you can see this piece here. This is a little vellum circle, and he goes kind of in behind your skeleton or in behind your spider web. And you know what? I'm going to make it offset because I think that looks really cool. Now keep in mind that vellum you can see through. So you'll want to make sure you're strategically placing your dimensional. You can do it like that, or I would highly recommend purchasing our combo pack, which includes 2 sheets of each of the different sizes of dimensionals, but these are black dimensionals. And they're so handy to have. So our regular dimensionals come in packs of 3 sheets, and you can buy a pack of the smalls or a pack of the large. But look at how this just pops it right out. Isn't that awesome? So cute. That white would have made that skull blend right in, and that's not the look that I was going for. I'm also going to use some black dimensionals on here. So I found that the black dimensional packs, like, even though I'm crafting all the time, I really love them when I need them, but I don't go through a ton, so I love that combo pack. It's, you know, just a tiny little bit more expensive than the regular packs of white, but you get the benefit of having the 2 different sizes with one pack. Isn't that cute? Did you guys see that? I just glued on the little hand, and then that is going to clip on this little tag. Now I think that that alone would be great, right? You don't really even need more than that. You don't really even need this little tag here. So maybe I'll even just leave that off. I've included this little tombstone tag that came with the kit. Maybe you have a saying that will fit on that, and you can add that onto your project. So I'll let you do that to your discretion, because this is such a custom project that we're creating here. I think every single person's is going to look different. Now the last little thing is an extra from the kit that's provided from Stampin' Up. It's something provided by me, and it's these iridescent pearls. So I wanted to get these into your hands. These are the part of the gift that I am giving away this month with a $120 purchase. So the iridescent pearls, I don't know if my camera is going to do them justice. They are purple and green and like a light blue. They're just gorgeous, and they're not only for Halloween. They're really quite versatile. So I wanted to get those in your hot little hands so you could see how beautiful they are. They're not available from Stampin' Up anymore. They were retired, but I have some in my possession. So let me know if you're interested. I think that those tags are super cute. Again, if you wanted to, you could add on that little saying wherever you like. Or maybe, you know, you've got that larger saying that you want to pop on there. You could even have your little spider web going over the top. So cute. But those are going to be adorable little treats that you can give to someone who you love. Now, normally at this point, I would take you through the catalog and show you all of the products that I used, but these kits are retired. These little extras that I added are retired as well. So let me just show you some of the kits that I have that you can purchase from me if you want to give some treats. So we kind of mentioned this one. This is the one that I've used here. You've got 2 different color options there, and it comes with supplies for 20 treat boxes. The treat boxes are really cute, and again, the refill kits include no stamps or ink spots, but that means it's actually half the cost of the regular kit. So these projects, you can see, can come together with no stamps needed whatsoever. So $15 makes 20 treat boxes, and then you're done. And this is a great activity to do with your child too, if you know they are into crafting. I would say starting at like age 3 or something like that, they definitely can handle projects like this. So let me know. I've got a couple of those available. Then we also have from a year before, this is the Frights and Delights Kit. This is a really fun kit. I've got a full pack of this one, which is $29, which includes the ink and the stamps. The stamps are really fun and cute too, so I really like this one. But once again, Stampin' Up! Is so clever with the way that they design these kits because they actually can stand on their own without any of the stamps included. So you really can purchase any of these refills and work with them and not feel like you are making half of the project. And the reason why this one works so great as a refill is, can you see those Eek, Boo, and Spooky? Those are actually die cut or laser cut paper stickers that go onto the projects. So the only stamping on here is it's Halloween, Frights and Delights, treats for you, which are really over the top and potentially not necessary, right? So these make, this one here makes 24 cellophane treat bags, and I love that you can do up these tags even a year in advance. Like you can do up these tags too a year in advance, and then they just store super flat. You can see. These are cellophane bags. These are the little cardstock boxes. So it depends what you're looking for, but these would both make some really adorable projects. Now, if Halloween is not really your bag, but you like the idea of making some treats, you might like this Hello Pumpkin kit. And this one here, I don't have any of the full kits left, but I do have refill kits of this one. This makes 20 little cracker boxes, and they come in different styles. I'll show you the kit a little bit more. I've made a Halloween one here. They're big enough you could put like a lipstick or a chapstick or something in there, and then they tie up. But I've had people use these for their place settings for Thanksgiving. What a great idea. Some little chocolates in there, little after dinner mints would be adorable in there. And you might not be having a Halloween house party or little dinner party, but you probably are having a little get together, hopefully, or at least, you know, this would be great even for dropping off on a doorstep, right? I think any time that we can connect with people and make an effort, especially right now, is so meaningful. These are laser cut pieces here, and these look a little bit strange until you see some of the things that it goes along with. So it comes with these adorable hats. Are you any hotter? I'm just combining words. Harry Potter fans out there who are seeing sorting hats? Yes. Here we've got little tags, and there's actually 2 sheets of those, so little tags and things like that. And then there's also a whole bunch more of these little die cut pieces here. Can you guys see those? Yeah, little leaves and things like that. But here's where we get to the super cuteness. Little pumpkins. And there's a lot of them too. So this would be perfect for your Thanksgiving dinner, right? You can write the name on there. If you had a stamp set that had all the little letters, you could put that on there and put their names, and that would be a great little placeholder. So we've got some little black versions of those embellishments. You can see the cat is there. You've got sheets of these black cats, and they're white on the other side. So of course, if you wanted to make an orange cat, you could just put some ink on those. And then you've got all the fun scored cracker pieces. These just pop out these little diamonds here, and it comes together so easy. You actually don't even really need adhesive to put these together. You can, or you can choose not to. They include these little adhesive strips if you would like to. You can see mine here is held together with just this cute little twine, and it just looks adorable. I love those. Alrighty, so the stamp set for that, I actually don't even have it included in here, in my little sample box here, but you could leave this little tag off, and that would be adorable for your Thanksgiving dinner. And, you know, was it last year? I can't remember, or maybe it was a year before that for Thanksgiving. It was so wonderful. How long have we been in this? I can't remember. We've just had one Thanksgiving, I think, in COVID times. But my family, what we did is each made different components, and then we ran them around to each other's houses, and then we did a little Zoom on Thanksgiving. So this would be great to drop off even for that too. This time of year, I just love sharing how thankful I am. And on that note, I'm going to say thank you so much for being a part of my life, for being a part of this video. It truly means so much to me that we can connect in this way. All right, let's get started on our first card of the night. So if you got your supplies in front of you, you're going to grab the one that looks like this with the white cardstock back. So as you guys are doing that, I'm just going to quickly fold my cardstock base. And I love using my bone folder. If you have been stamping and you don't have a bone folder yet, Sale-A-Bration is a fantastic time to add that to your order. And then you will have cards that close nicely. They stay closed. You fold them and they are just magical. And the key to that is a bone folder, and it's going to last you forever. So make sure you add that to your list. Also add to your list, because you know you're going to need them, these beautiful clear envelopes. And don't throw them out either, the ones that I give you. After your card is finished, just pop it in the envelope, and it makes it so wonderful for when you are putting it in a storage box and when you're looking through your cards. They don't get damaged nearly as much. So these are also mailable. They come in a pack of 50. They are mailable. You can write on the back side of your card the address and your return address. You can, of course, seal it up and then put mailing labels on there. Or if you prefer to leave the card nice and clean, you can just put another little square of cardstock in there with the addresses on there, and they're ready to go. And your postal worker gets a little treat. They get to see, you know, not a mundane envelope. They get to see something exciting to brighten their day. And when the recipient receives your card, they are going to be so excited too. So here are all your bits and pieces. Make sure you don't lose any of those beautiful gilded gems. Do you guys want to see the project that we're making? Yes, you do. Okay, I always do different color combinations. And here is what your first card is going to look like. So you can see this designer series paper is so beautiful. It's got the gold embossing on there already. And I'm going to take it up a notch by doing some gold heat embossing too. Now you may or may not have the supplies for this. If you don't, get ready, because this is my favorite technique. Can you guys see how gold that is? I've stamped on using a clear ink called Versamark and then sprinkled over gold embossing powder. So it looks like this. It gets stuck to the sticky ink, and then we're going to use a heat tool to set it. And this heat tool is very different than a hair dryer. Hair dryer would just blow everything around. The heat tool actually gets up to like 250 degrees on the tip there, and it is going to melt those little plastic beads onto your paper, and it just creates the most gorgeous look. Now I always do color combinations, so this is another design. Again, this designer series paper here just comes exactly like that from Stampin' Up. So what I've done to create these projects, I'll just put these to the side here, is I've taken a piece of rectangle designer series paper, and you'll have to kind of figure out how the pattern goes, because I've cut a scalloped rectangle out of it with our scalloped contour dies. So these I've used along with our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and this is the size that I've used. These are really fun. The one that I've used has those little pin holes in it, like the little dots. Some of them actually cut out little eyelet looking things. Some of them have stitching or lines that they cut, and then little dots here too that actually cut out. So this is a really great set. I find it to be quite essential because you know, I've got my rectangles, and now this is my way to like take it up a notch. Oh, this is fun. I've put this in here. You can see what it cuts out. This is the largest one. I like it when I do things like that for myself. You never know when I'm going to do something like that. It's like a surprise to me too, because I haven't remembered that I've done it. So I'm cutting that out. I've cut that out from the paper here. So match up the pattern, and then we're going to take it up a notch, okay? So on the back side of this, whatever side you're using, I mean, if you want to use the other side that's not got the gold embossing, to each their own, but I'm not giving up that beautiful gold embossing. I'm using some Stampin' Seal, which is the inline adhesive that I normally use, and I'm going to take this piece of vellum, so similar to that little circle that we had on this project here, I've got Vellum Cardstock that I've cut into rectangles, and I'm just going to adhere that on, okay? Now the next step that I'm going to do is take my same inline adhesive and put that on this little border rectangle. And I mean, for some people this might be like the scrap, right? Because maybe they wanted this beautiful scallop rectangle, but I can't throw away this piece. This is so beautiful, and why not take it up a notch with this kind of highlighting layout. So there we go, we've got the border around there. Then for this piece here, I'm going to pop it up. So I'm on the dregs here of my dimensional sheet, but I'm going to keep using this. I've cut up the border pieces, and then you don't get just 300 dimensionals in a pack. You actually get hundreds, right? Hundreds and hundreds. I do 4 on the back there, and then I'm just going to make sure that I match up that pattern and adhere it on. Now the vellum is perfect in this because you can see through it. It adds a little bit of interest, right? I put that on a little bit crooked, so I love dimensionals. You can kind of fix it right after you've done it. There you go. So now I've got that continuation of the pattern, but the vellum has softened the look and blended away the fact that I've cut out the middle of this. It looks really elegant, doesn't it? And just that alone, I mean, you could put a stamped thanks on there with gold embossing, and that's a spectacular card, right? And you just purchase the paper like that. I love it. So this little tag here, let's stamp that while we're talking about embossing, and I'll show you what I'm going to do here. So using my Versamark ink, this is a clear ink, and it's very sticky. I'm using 2 different stamp sets here for my sayings. The thanks came from Artistically Inked, and then this sample here, You're a Rare Find, came from Art and Bloom. Now this cover makes it look like the stamps are quite small, but they've just shrunken down the look of them. These stamps are huge. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about these 3 flowers in a minute, but for right now I'm going to show you that we've got solid stamps that will fit inside of these 3 flowers. So you can do the outline, and then to color it in, you can stamp it. You could do that with a solid color, or can you think about how amazing that would be with like creating your own ink pad with a baby wipe and re-inkers, like a spectrum pad. Oh, beautiful. So I'm going to use a saying from that same set called Never Not Loving, or it says Never Not Loving You. I have to get my little grid paper in here. If you find that your table is a little bit warped, or if it warps under pressure, you'll definitely want to get this little grid paper pad. It works so wonderful, and it's the perfect little size for working on your projects, and then having it as a scrap paper behind. So Never Not Loving You, and you'll say, wait a second, that is not showing up. And it's not showing up now, but it will in a second here when I sprinkle over this beautiful gold embossing powder. Now you can't leave it just like this. Oh, look at, I grabbed this with sticky fingers, I guess. I need my brush. You guys see that? If I can't get this off, I know that there's another side to my paper that will be ready to go for me, nice and clean. Sometimes if you tap it, you can get off most of it. Sometimes it needs that extra little bit of a brush. Okay, there we go. I'm happy with that. Okay, so you can't just leave it like that. That is going to rub right off, and that's not going to be good for anyone. What we have to do now, and I'm going to zoom you in here. I think most of you have actually seen this before. I'm going to turn on my heat tool, and believe it or not, I'm turning it on, and then the amazing microphones are just going to cancel it out, so hopefully you can still hear me here. You're going to heat this powder until it gets reflective. Now, can you guys start seeing the difference there? I love this technique so much. It is just so elegant. Here we go. So now it's all reflective. There's no more grains. You can't see any of that. Turn my heat tool off. And I used to apologize profusely whenever I had to use a heat tool on camera, but then I watched the replay and I realized, oh my goodness, you actually can't hear anything. Something about it cancels out. So I hope it's still doing that. I'm going to, just while I'm thinking of it, put on some dimensionals here, and then I'm going to get ready to show you this next step. But first I have to celebrate because I finished a sheet of dimensionals. Hooray! I feel like I really accomplished something in my life whenever I do that. So now this is ready to go. The next thing that we're going to do is add on these gorgeous vellum flowers. And can you see all that texture there? This is going to blow your mind. If you haven't noticed in the catalog, we've got a very special new kind of product. And it's a pairing between an embossing folder and a die set. So the dies that go along with this Art in Bloom stamp set. Of course, Stampin' Up! Is all about coordination. And I'll show you here the dies that come with it. So here we've got a whole bunch of like tags and leaves and things like that. And then there's one big die that comes along with it that cuts out those beautiful flower images. So let's just see here. See if I can show you. These three flowers are on one connected stamp. So when you ink them up and then stamp them on the paper, you're going to get all three of them. And then, let's get this turned around. Then when you stamp them, then you can run that piece of paper through your cut and emboss machine, and it's going to cut out all three of those flowers at once. Now, beyond that, of course, that's nothing new, right? You're like, Kelly, this has been this way for a long time. The new thing is that now we have a die that coordinates so perfectly with an embossing folder. Not only will it cut out the flowers that can be embossed, you can cut them out as you're embossing. So how do you get this look? You just put in your sheet. So you've nested this in here, and it really locks into place. It's incredible. And then you nest your sheet there. And now I have to get some things out of the way here. Oh, Bilkis, it's so good to see you. Thanks for joining. So happy to have you here. So then you get your cut and emboss machine. I have mine on my floor here, just handy, ready to go. And you have to use the large machine so that you have the maximum width here. Now you can see my plates are nice, well used. I've only been cutting into one side of the plates, and it's lasting really, really well. So this one looks pretty much new. Now to run through one of these thick folders, you're going to need the thick plate, number 1, number 2, and only one of your number 3 plates. So you don't need 2 of them. You're not doing die cutting into the plate. So I'm going to use just this one that looks nice and brand new still. I haven't cut into it. So I sandwich that paper inside the embossing folder, and then I sandwich that embossing folder in here, and then I'm just going to start cranking. Now, this is putting pressure on the embossing folder, which normally, you know, would just give us this nice impression. But in this case, by pairing that die inside the embossing folder, it's just incredible, because when you open it up, you will get these beautiful 3 flowers popped out. And then you can get the outside of your paper too. So imagine how you could use that as a negative. You could pop this out. And the vellum is so cool. When you emboss it, it turns white. So it's kind of the perfect supply for this, because I really wanted all of the colors and the beauty of this designer series paper to show through. So it's like it adds a whole other texture and like a little bit of a subtle color, but it doesn't introduce a new color. So it's going to go with whatever design of this designer series paper pack you have. And again, this beautiful piece here, you could toss it out or you could use it on another project. Isn't that cool? Oh, Bilkis, I know the heat embossing is like a life-changing moment, and I'm so happy that we could share that together. Oh, I love you, my dear. So we're going to take these little flowers, and I've just made myself like a whole bunch of extra flowers. I love these flowers, but let's use these 3. I'm going to use the smaller one kind of on top here. So this is the smallest one. That's going to go on top. I put this one on with a mini dimensional, believe it or not. And that's because it doesn't really matter. It can just kind of show through there. It's more or less the size of the center of that flower. But the rest of these flowers here, I'm going to show you how I'm going to put them on, because I'm going to use dimensionals, but I have to be strategic because I want my tag to cover it. So choosing whichever side of your flower that you want hidden, you're going to put your dimensional there. And then you can make sure that it's kind of in from the edge of your card. Oh, Bilkis, I'm happy that you laughed at that. Oh, my friend. All right, so I'm putting the dimensionals there, and that's okay. You can see through them, but that's okay because this tag is going to come over the top there and cover that right up. Now, before we adhere our tag onto our card, to just kind of finish it all off, let's add in an extra embellishment. Now, I've included for you either, depending on your color scheme, one of our new soft succulent or pale papaya. And let's see if, yeah, camera likes this now. This beautiful ribbon is sheer in the middle and then has this beautiful solid border on the side that's really shimmery. Now, can you guys even see this on this card? Maybe not. Can you see where I've put this? Oh, it's like a trick. I have put this just right here. I've dissected the ribbon and we've got just a little bit of the threads kind of right there and right there. This beautiful pale papaya actually registers as gold when you see it all dissected like this. So how do we dissect ribbon? Well, I have my friend Lindsay to thank for this because she's obsessed with this technique and she's made me obsessed with this technique too. So what we're going to do is cut down the length of the ribbon, and then when we do that, then we can actually fray off these pieces. So I'm just going to continue cutting down the length of the ribbon. I'm cutting quite close to the edge where it is ending sheerness and it's starting to be that solid, because it's the solid strings that we're actually going to take. This middle piece doesn't have any of those. You can't fray it apart. So let's take this and we're going to just kind of shred that apart. And you'll see all of the little ribbon pieces will kind of come apart. Now before you get too crazy about that, let's prepare our tag so that we are not fussing around with adhesive after we shred that apart. I'm just going to put on some Stampin' Seal, and I've done like a bit of a, I don't know, V shape there, just so I can loop it around on itself and create that nice little arc. Okay, now I'm ready to continue dissecting. Try to keep this under control if you can. And then you can just pull them apart. And then after that point, you can do it like a little twist if you want. And then put the ends down. It always looks so awkward when you're doing something like this. Your hands make little claws that you didn't even know you could make with these shapes with your body, right? And turns into a little claw. All right, there we go. So now I've got this like nice little subtle ribbon that just adds a little textural element and a little bit of extra shine. If your ends are too long, feel free to just trim it off. Maybe you like the ends sticking out. I'm not that type of person, but you know, you do you, right? Like I'm dealing with my perfectional problems here. If you've discovered that you don't have to have perfection like that, that you want some frayed loose ends, good on you. You are further along in your stamping therapy than I am. All right, so there we go. We've got our beautiful little frayed pieces there. You maybe you didn't notice those initially, but I'm sure that you would see them now. Now the final finishing touch, you can save this, you know, for other things if you want to. You can do that same technique on the other side. I'm just going to let that go. And let's get our take your pick tool and use these enormous, beautiful gilded gems to just put the cherry on top of this cake. And I love the take your pick tool because it makes it so much easier than kind of fiddling around with your fingernails and trying to get those placed perfect. Take your pick tool has all different kinds of attachments on it. So this is the way that it comes, and then you can purchase the die brush attachment onto it as well. Yay! What do you guys think? So beautiful, right? That gorgeous gold embossing is just spectacular. Okay, so we'll put that to the side here. I've got my Halloween treat boxes. I'll throw those to the side. And then I'll show you where you can find all these products in our catalogs. So first and foremost, I wanted to tell you about Sale-A-Bration. There's a whole bunch of products in here available with a $60 purchase, and I didn't use any Sale-A-Bration products on this card. So you could definitely purchase all the products to make this card and then earn those freebies though. That would be awesome. And then believe it or not, from our mini catalog, nothing on this card. What? Everything is from our annual catalog. And I have been chomping at the bit to use this designer series paper with you, but believe it or not, it's been back ordered since it became available pretty much. So that's back in June, but I can semi-confidently say now we should have it back in stock. So feel free to add this to your order. Now I want to show you this Expressions in Ink page. This is where it comes from in our annual catalog, page 96. This is a suite of products that all coordinates with that gorgeous paper. So you'll notice that the paper is actually got these beautiful alcohol ink applications, and they're already done for you. These are fairly easy to do. They can be a little bit finicky, but they're fairly easy to do. But all the papers that I used for your cards are these ones here, and you can see they've got those beautiful gold embellishments on there. The back sides of those are all, again, these alcohol ink applications. I just love that this paper already has the embossing done for you and the alcohol ink done for you. My favorite sheet of the whole pack, though, is this one, believe it or not, because it is a blank canvas with these beautiful kind of distressed gold stripes. And you might be thinking, Kelly, that's plain white and like that's nothing exciting whatsoever. And I would like to disagree, because this paper here can be transformed into whatever color that you want. You could use your blending brushes over the top. You could spritz. You could color with your markers and make each of these different stripes. Can you imagine all the beautiful things that you could do? All right, Kelly, enough with the gold striped paper. This here is a really fun alcohol ink application. And then look at this spectacular sheet here. I want to cover a notebook with this. Wouldn't that be beautiful? I love how it goes from nothing into this amazing, vibrant, and embellished gold in the middle there. And then the back side's pretty beautiful as well. So I don't know how you decide with these. You have to get 2 packs, right? This pack of designer series paper, like I said, has been sold out, but it also has this beautiful stamp set that is just got that same kind of a feel. My favorite is this stamp here, which has got just that swirl, and you can do that in any color, or you can do that in multiple colors too. Again, I alluded to this. If you want a video, I'd be happy to share with you the technique of creating your own ink pad in a variety of colors, and so you can make like your own spectrum ink pads. That would be just beautiful with that. Beautiful sayings in that one too. And then the dies that come along with this are really fun. They're quite big as well, so you can actually cut out this image and this image and this image with these dies, and then you've got the leaves that you can cut out too. Further to that, you've got this beautiful line art, which would be gorgeous in vellum or gold foil. Can you imagine that being all put together? Now, if you really like the idea of those kind of cutouts, but maybe you don't want all the work, or maybe you don't even have a cut and emboss machine yet being the operative word, this ephemera pack is such a beautiful complement. These are laser cut gold foil sheets, and then you just separate them, pop them out, and you can layer these pieces onto your project. So this one here turns into a very dainty kind of, what would you say? Is this a trapezoid? Oh, this is when, you know, you wish that you paid more attention in math, right? So can you guys see that there? It's so dainty. You've also got leaves, and then it comes with these beautiful iridescent sequins with adhesive on the backs too. So this is a great package. You get, I think, 6 sheets of this design, and it comes with all different shapes and the leaves and everything. So a great addition to your craft closet, and I think you'd make some beautiful projects with that. Okay, so I think we talked about that. Of course, bundle and save 10%. So that's a really good deal. You can get the stamp set and that beautiful die set for 10% off when you buy them with the code down at the bottom here. So keep that in mind. The other products that I showed you were this Art in Bloom, and that was like those 3 flowers, which then you can color them in, and with the embossing folder and dies that work together. So if you get this bundled savings, you will not only get the stamp set and the dies, but you will also get this embossing folder for 10% off too. So that's a great deal, and I love that those products all go together. That's again on page 116. It's called Art in Bloom. Now on page 128, I wanted to point out these embossing powders. The one that I used was gold, and that comes in a pack of 3 that's called Metallics, which comes with copper, gold, and silver. We also have a Basics, which has black, clear, and white. So just keep in mind you're getting a pack of 3 now. So you're getting an even better kind of selection with just one item code. Also on this page, we used the heat tool, so make sure you have one of those, because these embossing powders, you can't get to work with a hairdryer. It's just not going to get hot enough for you. And then from this page here on page 129, we use the Versamark ink. That's that super sticky clear ink. You can do so many different things with it. It's not just for embossing. It's a watermark ink, and you can also do resist techniques with that too. So let me know if you want to see more techniques with our Versamark. It's so much fun. And I think that was everything from this page. Yes, I think so. Then page 142, we've got our Gilded Gems. These come in a pack. I've got some little snipped pieces in there, but these are so fun. They're really pretty, aren't they? And you can even color them different colors too. So you could make rose gold by putting like a nice pink Stampin' Blend over the top, and then you've got rose gold. Ta-da! These come in a pack of 90. You've got the 3 different sizes there. And page 157, this is another way of seeing that In Bloom bundle with the embossing folder that has the dies that coordinate with it. So again, Art in Bloom is what that one's called. I also used the Scallop Contours dies, and that made that beautiful scalloped rectangle. Again, I consider this more of an essential, but when you look at it, you'll see that there are some different die cut images in there too. So you've got the scallop edge that you can put in, and then you've got these 2 images here. That's where the bundle and save 10% really comes into our advantage, because there's a stamp set that goes along with it, and those dies cut out the blooms in that stamp set. So again, bundle and save 10%. Why wouldn't you, right? Also used on this project were the Tasteful Labels. I had to find them there for a second. This one is an excellent pack of essential labels, and I'm a huge fan of not having a pressure situation where I need to stamp one final stamp on my project, and then it's done. Oh, I messed it up, and now I have to try and figure out how to cover it. I love having a tag, stamping on that, and then applying that tag onto my project. Straight and perfect every time. So this set here comes with kind of more square shapes, which can be used vertically or horizontally. And then you even got quite long rectangular-ish shapes, which will fit lots of our long sayings. And of course, you can use them a little bit different too. Like this is the tag that we used here for this card. And that, I haven't got the saying, you know, filling up the whole space. I've just got it over on the side, so it works really well. And you can see on these that they have lots of extra embellishment. They don't just cut. This is the cutting line here. And then it stitches actually on the inside and the outside of the cutting line. And that's for all of them. They've got embellishments on the inside and the outside. So you can use these as a positive or a negative. So positive meaning you've cut out this piece and the center of the piece is what you're using. Or negative would be you've cut a center out of a piece of paper and you're going to use the outside. And then there's going to maybe be like something poking through the hole that is cut from this. So again, lots of versatility, right? This is an excellent set. Again, it's called Tasteful Labels, and this is going to be your favorite go-to for all kinds of shapes. It's even got those circles on there too, right? So that's even more versatile. Are you guys ready to get started on our next? Oh, you know what I forgot to have on there is vellum. Did I miss that page? Oh, where is it? Oh, here it is. Did I tell you about this page? On page 136. You'll want to purchase a pack of that Vellum Cardstock. That comes with 20 sheets and it's going to be so versatile for you. Again, when you emboss it, you get that beautiful little bit of a white, extra white look. But vellum is so fun because it shows through. And if you haven't already glued on your flowers, I actually meant to tell you this in advance, that you can color on the back side of vellum with our Stampin Blends, and you could even turn the center of that flower or color in the whole flower if you wanted to, and it will beautifully show through that vellum in a nice, soft, and subtle way. Vellum Cardstock, you need it in your collection because it goes with everything. It's just the perfect addition. It doesn't introduce a new color, it just softens everything and coordinates perfectly. Okay, the next project that we're working on here, so you grab your supplies. I've got a little bit of a stack happening with these clear envelopes, but I know I'm going to use them afterwards. All right, you're going to get your black and your bit of traditional colors, and we're going to make a bit of a traditional, non-traditional holiday card, so a Christmas card. You could also turn this into just a nature card if that's what you prefer. So you do you. Keep all your supplies there because there's some little antlers that you don't want to lose, okay? Now you'll notice I've cut the cardstock in half a different way. So this is 8.5 by 11 cut in half this way. This is it cut the other way. And whenever I do that, I always like to score because Stampin' Up! Has a grain to their paper, and if you fold it this way, it doesn't fold very nice unless you have a score line already. So I'll show you what we're going to do. You'll notice those score lines on there, and that's because we're making a Z card. So this one here is the project that we're making. You've got a beautiful starry sky thanks to some wink of Stella that we're going to splatter on there. You've got some nice checkered ribbon on there. We're going to turn these trees into a different color, and then of course we've got a nice little nose on Rudolph. Now, not just a reindeer, a very special reindeer. And when this card opens up, it's like a Z. So this is what it looks like here. You open it up, and then you can write your message in there. Now I'm going to give you a little hint. Take a pencil, and you can do just a little dot, because you might be like me and you might want to write a whole paragraph in here. Now what I do is then once I've got my pencil marks on there, I can now write with a pen, and I know that I'm not going to write up here and then have it visible from the front of the card when it's closed. So that's my little tip for you, is to make those little pencil marks, and then you can erase them afterwards, and they're none the wiser. And if you don't have a pencil, honestly, I've done it with a pen too, and nobody notices. It's really not noticeable. So I love this kind of a Z fold card. It has so much dimension, and when you have it sitting there, it looks like Rudolph's just prancing through this beautiful snowy landscape. So let's take a look at how we're going to put this together. So again, bone folder. I cannot shout from the rooftops loudly enough. You need it in your crafting stash. It really will make a difference, because as you burnish these folds, then it just folds flat. It's great. Okay, let's start with the background. I've added some embellishments. You guys can do that if you want to as well. These trees here, are actually coming from the coordinating stamp set that goes with our Peaceful Deer punch. So our little Rudolph is created with a punch and it comes with everything that you need. So the antlers, and you can even see there's a little nose there, and it coordinates with some of our stamped images too from this stamp set. So I've used the trees from this stamp set, and then I've also used Sending Love and Peace this season, and then on the inside, wishing you a wonderful year and friendships dear. And they were like alluding to the fact that it would be a pun, but they spelled dear the proper way. So that's nice too. Let me put that away. Okay, let's grab our coordinating ink pad. You could definitely do this in black if you wanted to. I'm going to do the trees in garden green, which are coordinating. I haven't replaced this ink pad yet. It's still going strong, so I mean, why not just keep it, right? Keep re-inking it forever and ever. Okay, let me grab my trees. I've mounted these trees on one block, so I've got a couple of stamps in one block, and I can do it all together. I like doing a twist tap tap whenever I have a solid stamped image that I want to ink up really, really well. I find that works much better than just a twist or just a tap tap. That gives you a really nice solid image. Oh, and you know what? While I'm stamping here, I'm going to grab my little circle. I'm going to stamp a saying in the middle there, but while I've got my green out, I'm going to take these cute little trees from the same set, twist tap tap, and then I'm going to stamp off on my scrap paper once, twice, and then a third time onto my actual circle. And that's going to create this beautiful, subtle stamped image that's going to be not competing with my text, just a nice little accent. So first things first, put away my ink pad, right? Oh, booby traps, I tell ya. And then let's grab our Memento ink. That's my favorite black ink. And we're going to stamp some sayings here. So on this circle, let's do Sending Love and Peace this season. I love circles too, because if you don't stamp it straight, you just twist it a little bit. And then you're done. And then on the inside here, I'm going to stamp my other saying. I'm kind of working off. I've got too many cards going on here, you guys. I can't figure out which way is up too. I got a few problems going on here. There we go. Hold our breath. There we go. Looks great. And now we can then, what's happened here? Failed to connect. Check your internet connection. No, thanks. I do have internet. I'm currently offline. Okay, so I hope that you guys are back here very shortly. Hey guys! I'm offline. Now I'm back online, I think. Oh, can someone comment and see if I'm online? Oh boy. Let me just see here. Sorry guys. Let's see if we can link this up again. I haven't had this happen in the middle. It's very exciting to be always on edge. I'm seeing this is connected. Okay, so you can see me. Okay. Okay, thanks you guys. I appreciate that. It's saying that my internet connection is no good, but I'm clearly connected to you guys, so that doesn't make sense at all. Don't we just love technology? Oh, thank you. You guys are little angels, honestly. Okay, so I'm seeing that I can connect. Let's do this. Accept. Okay, yeah. Camera's pointing at the ceiling. Okay, good. And we're back. Oh boy. We have to pivot. There we go. There you guys got a little behind the scenes action there. But nobody wants to see that though. Okay. And we're back, folks. Never a dull moment. Yeah, seriously. Okay, you guys are amazing. Give me thumbs up if you can see me again now. Oh boy. Yay, says Bilkis. I think it worked. All right, take a look at your designer series paper. I love interludes like that. Oh, what side am I going to do? You guys know what side I have to do. I think I can't just do the plain stripe. I think I have to do that beautiful snowflake. Yeah, back on track. Thank you. This is when I wish I had a tech person instead of me being the tech person. I don't want to be the tech person. I just want to make the cards. I want to be the card making person. But haven't we just all been thrust into being our own tech people, hey? We at least are on this adventure together. Do you guys see what I'm doing here? I'm just matching up the pattern because I did make it so that you can maybe not match up the snowflakes, but I've matched up the plaid pattern, and I've done that for all of them. So I hope that you can figure out the way that it goes together. Okay, did I say snowflake? What did I say? Oh, you're saying snowflake. Yes, Sharon, yes. I'm glad I did what you wanted because you have to go with the snowflake, right? Okay, so now that piece is just going to go like that. I don't know why that, why did that have to happen? I'll never know. Okay, I'm going to put this piece to the side here. This is just going to be a layer that happens in the back. It could be a red piece as well. And I'll show you, this is another alternate here. I'm going to show you a few techniques, okay? So I'm going to put this card base to the side. I'm going to put these beauties to the side and make a little bit of space because things are about to get crazy up in here. I've got your die cuts already done. Now they might look a little bit more like this small tree rather than these big trees. And that's because when I cut out 48 at a time, sometimes I don't have time to brush all of them, but this little brush attachment goes onto the Take Your Pick tool. So this is the tool that I was showing you before with the pokey thing. There's also a little scoring tip, that's what that's called. And then there's also this attachment which you can purchase, and it comes with one of these little pads. And this little attachment is amazing for mass poking out all the holes. So you just run it across there. I also use the scoring tip for this. So to be honest, I have got way more than 2 of these. But I have one of these which has this little putty tip, and one that has the pokey side and the little paddle side. And I keep it always like that. And then I have another one of these, which I always keep in this configuration with the little scoring ball tip. This has 2 different sizes. You can have a small one or a large one. I like the small one for this. And I keep the die brush on that side. So maybe during Sale-A-Bration is the time that you want to invest in maybe a second one of these, right? Like, and bump your order up, get something free, and get a tool that you know you're going to use all the time. So again, just some tips for you there. If you wanted to top up your order, that would be a fantastic addition. You're going to just sing a little happy song whenever you get all of those beautiful tree holes all popped out. Okay, can I show you something here? It would look beautiful just in white, right? My sample here is in green. And there's a few different ways that we can turn our trees green. I'm going to bring in my scrap paper now. Get ready, hold on, I'm about to technique you. Okay, first way that you could do it is with watercolor pencils. Watercolor pencils come in 2 assortments, and they are all in Stampin' Up! Colors, which is great. The one watercolor pencil assortment number 2 is the one that has the coordinating garden green. So what you would do here is just draw some lines across or scribble, and then you can take a blender pen, which I have somewhere here. I've got so many techniques I want to show you. I lost my blender pen. There it is. Then you take one of our blender pens, and these have a solution in them, and it's clear, and then you can paint with whatever color that you want. You can also use these with picking up ink from your ink pads. Do it from the lid of your ink pad, or stamp onto a block, which I'll show you in a second here. And you can also use them with your watercolor pencils. Okay, so that's one technique. And it gives a beautiful soft look. So let's take a closer look at that. Can you guys see that there? Nice soft look. Okay, what else can you do for techniques for coloring your trees? Well, of course, our Stampin' Blends, which we love so much, we can do actually a few different techniques with. So let me show you a Pointillism technique. So Pointillism is a technique that I learned from my sister, who is a master's in fine art. And I'm using 2 blends here. I'm using the light mossy meadow, and I'm using the fine tip. And I'm just going to pounce it, doing a whole bunch of points. And then going in with a lighter one, I'm going to use the light old olive, and I'm going to use the thicker brush, and I'm just going to do even more kind of points. And when you go over top of it with the light, then the lighter color actually will blend the darker color. So let's see what that looks like. Can you guys see that there? So another technique, oh, I meant to show you this. I've got these weird Post-it notes on here. And the way that I did that was taking the sticky side, I just have torn a little edge that is going to soften that tree, the bottom of that tree, a little bit. So when you finish it, it ends up looking just like that. Can you guys see that? Just softens it a bit. Okay. And then another way that you can use your blends is by going with the darker one first again, and we'll just do some more lines, kind of like little strokey lines or little curls or something like that. And then when you go over top of it, this time I'm going to use the whole brush, the big brush, and then scribble over the top of it, and that's going to soften it right up. And again, when you peel this off, then you've got this beautiful soft tree edge. Can you guys see that? Okay, Pointillism and little strokes with blends. You got that option. And now I want to show you another option here. Dog is desperately trying to get through the baby gate to come down here and snuggle at my feet. She's my little buddy. Okay, this last one here, I've done the same kind of masking, but this technique is very different. Can you guys see there? It gives a really different look. I'm going to use my water painter, which I've filled with water, and I'm using one of the smaller brushes. The other thing I'm going to use are our soft pastels. We haven't played with these yet, but I'm so excited to show you how they work. This is one of the ways that you can use them. It comes in great colors. So we've got Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Gorgeous Grape, Granny Apple Green, Mango Melody, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, and Poppy Parade. So I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow and also the Granny Apple Green. And just taking a little bit of water on my brush, I'm going to put it onto my pastel, and then I'm just going to start flicking. And when I start flicking, I can build up the color and get a really soft look. Now I'm going to put that one away and then go to my lighter color here. And I'm just going to transition straight into the lighter color without cleaning off my brush tip or anything. Just because I know I'm going to use up a little bit more of this lighter one, and I'm not going to worry about leaving some of that darker color on there. Okay, I think I'm pretty much finished there. And so now when I take this off, I've got this beautiful subtle look. Have you guys done this before with our pastels? Maybe you have these, maybe you've played with them. Aren't they pretty? Okay, so I want to show you, that's how you can color your trees, okay? Now I'm going to put that, oh maybe, you know what, I'll finish this up with just a little bit more, because I want to use this one on my card actually. So pretty. A little bit more splatter. You just have to kind of get control of how much liquid you're using. Once you get a feel for that, you can add a little bit more, bit by bit by bit. And you don't have to worry about saturating it too much. Okay, I think this is looking pretty good. Let's put that there. We'll take this off. And then I'm just going to let this sit to the side for a second here while I do another technique. So I love, love, love our wink of Stella, and that's what's created this beautiful starry sky on that beautiful basic black cardstock. Now, want to see how to take it up a notch? We can use our pastels to create this gorgeous night sky. It's almost got the feeling of like the Milky Way or even of Northern Lights, and I'll show you how I made that. These pastels are so different. They're quite a hard pastel for being called a soft pastel. You can hear like how firm they are. I'm going to start off with using that Granny Apple Green, and I'm just going to flick, 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 flick. Again, you can make it as small or as large as you want these little flakes to be. I got a couple there that are a little bit big. Let me just grab this little baby wipe and just dab it off. This is not a very wet baby wipe. You might want to use a Kleenex. That might be better for you. Okay, so let's create this little speckle splatter. And then I'm going to go in with this beautiful Coastal Cabana color. And again, I'm not even going to clean off because I'm just going to use some more of this, right? Here we go. Now we're going. And then to top it all off, it's very, very subtle, but it's beautiful. I'm going to put on some purple, or not Granny Apple Green we used. We used Coastal Cabana, and then I'm going to use the Gorgeous Grape, I think it was. Oh yeah, Gorgeous Grape. And I'm just going to put that in the little middle part here. It's quite a darker color, so it doesn't show up as much on the black, but it really adds more depth when you're seeing it in person. It's really beautiful. Okay, so now to clean this off, I don't know if you saw in between the blue and the purple, I just squeeze a little bit and then clean off the tip. Once it goes clear, that means it's clean. So you can just kind of keep squeezing and brushing. There you go. Looking good. I love these water painters. I use them all the time for all different kinds of techniques. So let's just take a look at that. Can you guys see that? Some of it's still drying a little bit. You can see some of the purple is showing up darker right now. And that's just because of the water that's actually on the project. So soft pastels, worth a purchase, and there's way more that you can do with them as well. Now before we're finished all speckling here, of course we want to finish with that Wink of Stella, which is our Platinum Shimmer paintbrush. And we can take off the lid and just get a little bit of a flick going on using the lid here. That's going to provide that beautiful subtle shimmer like the stars in the sky and the Milky Way and the Northern Lights peeking through. So beautiful. I'm going hog wild here. There we go. That's so pretty. Okay, let's put this to the side as well. Let that dry. Again, you can come back to any of these techniques, so you don't have to worry about stressing out and thinking you're falling behind. Don't stress. This is available on replay forever. Can I show you something fun? the next thing we're going to do is take our beautiful Halloween ribbon and turn it into Christmas ribbon. So you can see the one there that I have just loose is actually black and white, and we can turn that into red and green or any color that we want. So the way that we do that, I think I'm going to go green on this one. I'm going to use my light mossy meadow Stampin' Blend. It's important to use the blends because if you're using our water-based inks, they could smudge and smear off. And meanwhile, if you just use our blends, they are going to permanently color this ribbon green. There's no way that you can get that off now unless you use the Blends Color Lifter, which is a clear ink. So this just has to dry for a little minute. So again, let's put that to the side as well. And then maybe we can go back to some of these other pieces. So taking our background piece, it might be red, it might be green, and then we're going to layer our black piece over top. I'm going to put on dimensionals because I love dimensionals so much. There we go. And then we'll put this up here. Oh, I just love dimensionals. It pops it up so much. It makes it look spectacular. Now to put this onto our card, I always like to line it up and remind you that you don't want to put adhesive straight across, okay? That's going to glue your card completely shut. So what I do is I flip it down like this so I can figure out where I need to put my adhesive. And that allows me kind of a foolproof way of putting it together. You can also use your Fast Fuse Plus at that point. Oh, I am so glad that you guys are stamping along with me. I can just see my friends who are watching, and I love knowing that you are crafting along with me. So this little beautiful deer punch is really versatile because it comes with a stamp set that is not just for the holidays. So of course we can turn this into Rudolph, turn it into the holidays, but it doesn't have to be. Oh, I already have it out. Here we go. So let's take a look. We've got some deer that come along with the stamp set. You can also stamp the antlers and then punch them out. You could stamp the deer and then punch it out. That means that it would work, right? Looking through. So the way that you do that is you'd stamp first onto your paper, then you put your paper in, and you can perfectly match up the shape with the punch. I love matchy-matchy. Then this one here says, "Oh, what fun," and has kind of a negative look there because the deer is all dark. And then the saying is a relief in white. And you've got the deer laying down, the cute little bunny, and you've got all of these bits and pieces, all these great sayings. You can see they shrunk it down on the cover. It's actually larger than it seems. So this is a wonderful stamp set. And you can see, you know, let's celebrate. And you can use that for every time of the year, right? This is perfect for masculine cards. You've got that little bit of snow or grass you could even do that as, and then bits of stones, and then this is a little wreath that you can put around the deer's neck. Oh, I love it. Anyways, this is a really good bundle, and of course the punch makes it so that you don't have to have any extra equipment like the big boss or the baby boss to go along with it. Did I just glue that on? I think I did. On this card here, I put dimensionals. I kind of like the look of that. Can you guys see the difference there? That deer just kind of leaps right off when it's put on with dimensionals. So let's do that. Dimensionals, I guess we have to put on our trees, don't we? Let's put on our trees. I put these ones on with a dimensional at the top there, and I don't like how I can see it. So I'm just going to put on this one here with my Fast Fuse, because that's what I did on the first card. I love, you know, making this over a couple of nights because then I can really kind of perfect what I liked better. Just hope that you remember which way you did it and which way you liked better. Oh, that looks so fun. So now we've got our deer on our dimensionals, and we can put that on there. I don't want to do this. There we go. And then these little antlers, you might have noticed that the back side of them is white, and that's because before I punched them, I adhered one of my favorite products, which is our Adhesive Sheets, onto the back side. So that has turned this into a sticker. So you just have to peel that off, and then the adhesive will stay on the cardstock, and then you've got a sticker. Oops, don't peel your cardstock apart though, that doesn't actually work. I'm going to try from another side here. It's just fraying on me. It didn't happen last night, of course, right? Or the time before that. So if you're wondering, maybe like I am, how a deer's antlers actually go, the little knobby points kind of go up and then the antlers spread outwards. And I don't know why I had a little mental block when I was putting them on the first time. I had to look in the catalog. And I like how I looked at the catalog and not at the mounted deer head that is mere feet from me in my furnace room. It's in the furnace room because it doesn't go anywhere in the rest of the house. So this is a little bit of a bone of contention with my hunter husband. But I don't need that thing looking at me. So I just put on, I don't know if you noticed there, this beautiful little red rhinestone. Now you could put the little deer face on there. I of course can't send out stamped images to you, so this is my kind of workaround and turning this deer into a beautiful little silhouette. Now I've got my dry ribbon. It was colored with the blends and now those have dried. I'm going to put some Stampin' Seal on the back side here. And just wrap this kind of back and forth, creating like a little bit of a Z. And then snipping the extra off with my scissors. I love how this ribbon is not just for that Halloween occasion, right? It's so much more. It's for lumberjacks and Christmas, and it kind of feels cozy and warm with that little bit of a checker. You could do that in a pink or a light green, and this would have a real picnic sort of a feel, right? Gingham. So I think this is really versatile ribbon. I hope it stays around for a while because I hope to play with it in the spring too. Isn't that cute though? What a beautiful card. Lots of extra interest with all that splatter on there, and you guys can see that wink of Stella just adding wow factor upon wow factor. And then that beautiful fold, which means that when it's sitting on the table, it just looks like Rudolph is leaping right up into the air. Can you guys see that? That's how it would look. I'll show you how it would look. There you go. Just leaping right up. Isn't it cute? Okay, let's talk about what products I used on that card. Oh boy, I've got a lot to show you here. I wanted to show you, first and foremost, we've got our Sale-A-Bration product, which is this beautiful designer series paper. It's called Peaceful Prints, and that's how we got all these different patterns here. They're all from that. The ones that are left over are a little bit boring in comparison, but I found that they were so neutral that I can't wait to use them for other things. So we've got the beautiful Birch Trees, and these are subtle, kind of tone-on-tone Sahara Sand, Crumb Cake, and white color. The back side of that is like almost like a candy cane stripe, but with a little bit of Crumb Cake mixed in there. And this one's really fun. This is like a mixture of this pattern with the green. I don't know, can you guys see that in behind? Very subtle, again, it's just in behind there. And you can see that little etching. Then you've got the leaping deer and the trees as well. And then the back side of that is a really awesome little gingham or check, whatever you call that. So this is, again, available for free with a $60 order. And what could you order to get you up to that threshold? Well, to make this fun card, we used a whole bunch of great supplies. I'm going to start in the mini catalog, actually, because that's where some of the feature products came from. Okay, there we go. So, of course, we talked about this Peaceful Deer bundle. This is a great deal when you bundle and save 10%. It's only $48.50, so you get a ton of stamps, you've got all the sayings, you've got these cute deer, and then you've got a punch that will work really, really well. And then we've also got this Peaceful Cabin. I didn't use any of the stamps in this. I actually used the dies. And that's where our little tree border came from. So you can definitely stamp this image and then use this tree border. Forgive, this is all washi tape and you'll understand in a second, but you can use these tree dies to stamp out or cut out your stamped trees, and that's going to create this beautiful background, which they haven't shown anywhere, but I think I have a card here. Oh, here I didn't even cut them out. I just put them on the back side there, stamped them on the background. So that's not the best example of it, but you can definitely do that, those two together. What I did for you in your card is I used the additional dies that actually nest inside. So with one crank through, you can cut out the outline as well as those little relief holes. So that's why I used this washi tape, and it looks like it's been around the block because it's actually cut out 48 sets of these. So all I did was cut a rectangle in the same shape and size as the black, but out of white, and then I lined that up and then cranked it through. And what you're left with is this beautiful snowy bank, and then the trees cut out there, which you can color to be whatever color that you want. Kind of fun, right? Again, you're going to want to bundle and save, I think. You don't just want the dies, even though you can use the dies just on their own. The cabin will do the same sort of thing, where it will do this kind of relief cutout, or you can do this stamp cutout like they did there when they were creating this card. And then there's a little fox too, which you can have in a snowbank as well. So that's a really versatile set. Again, that one's called Peaceful Cabin, the bundle I would recommend. On page 51 in our Halloween section, you'll find this gingham ribbon. And it's just black and white color, but you can color it to be whatever color that you want. And when I thought about this card, as soon as I saw this paper, I thought, oh, we gotta color that gingham ribbon. And I'm gonna be so excited to show them this technique because it's so original, and maybe they've, forgotten that they can color things that are white. And then look at this. They've done the exact same thing, coloring that ribbon purple right there in the catalog. So I'm just gonna go with great minds think alike. That we really wanted to show you, both Stampin' Up and I, that you can color that ribbon whatever color you like. And how do you color that ribbon? Well, I'm happy that you asked. On page 122 and 123, at the bottom of all of these charts, you can see the selection of Stampin' Blends. And these are our alcohol-based markers that work almost like a Sharpie in a permanent way. And you can color all kinds of things. So vellum is great, window sheets, ribbons, all different kinds of things. Also on this card, we use the soft pastels, which are on page 126. And that, again, is just the tip of the iceberg of what these amazing products can do. So if you're wondering, I would be happy to send you a link to some other ideas for playing with those pastels, okay? And then, also on this page, I showed you the watercolor pencils. The assortment number 2 is the one that I used, but I really like being able to use both of those. And if you're just getting into coloring, the most cost-effective way of getting a variety of colors is our watercolor pencils. You can purchase a set for $17 or $22, and then all you need are a pack of these blender pens, which come with 2 double-ended, and you get 3 markers in a set for $16.25. So that's a really inexpensive way to get started coloring with many different colors, okay? Blends are great, but you do have to buy a set of them, and they're $12 each. And so you kind of build up your collection a little bit more slowly than potentially, getting that big color assortment, right? Now, what do we do from this page? Oh, our Winka Stella on page 128. You'll definitely want to add that to your order because you can do so many things with that platinum shimmer paintbrush. And then we've got our red rhinestone. This comes with 220 pieces, and you can tell they're quite a bit smaller than our regular rhinestones, and I love that feature. It's perfect for these little noses. It's also amazing for little holly berries, but of course you can use those for Valentine's Day and any day when you're using red, which is all the time, right? So you can color our rhinestones to be red with our Stampin' Blends, but I really like the vibrancy and the depth of this red color. I have found that it's impossible to reach this vibrancy of color when you are coloring on top of the regular rhinestones with your blends. So invest in those red rhinestones. You're going to love them. Whenever you're doing a fun fold card, it's always good, or a card that's actually folded just even in half like this, it's really important to score this first so that you get a nice fold. If you don't, and you'll find this out the hard way, it'll be all warped and wrinkly here. The paper will just wrinkle and kind of buckle on itself. So there's two different tools that you can complete this scoring with. You can use our Simply Scored scoring tool, which is this big plastic piece, and it's got all these grooves in it, and you can even have the little markers on there as well. And then you can just score, score, score. You can make all kinds of 3D projects. The other thing that you can use is the scoring blade that's included on our cutting. What's the actual name of this? Oh, they just call it paper trimmer now. It used to be called like the Stampin whatever cutter or something like that, but now it's just called paper trimmer. They made it easy on us for once. Normally I've got this alliteration always happening, right? On this page here, our layering circles are an essential. It comes with scallop circles and regular circles, and I've used the circle here for the sending love and peace this season. And then, finally, last but not least, our adhesive sheets are nearly invisible on this adhesive page on 167. And these are so incredible. And we've talked about using them a lot with dies, but I wanted to show you that you can use them with punches too. So even if you don't have the cut and emboss machine, that doesn't exclude you from using these products. What they are is like a big sheet, 6 inches by 12 inches. And then when you peel off one side, it's going to be waxy paper. And then when you peel off the other side, there's actually an adhesive that will stay on this paper. Now what you do is peel off the waxy side, stick the adhesive onto a piece of cardstock. I'm just using scraps for these antlers because that's all I need to slip in here and punch them out. And when I do punch them, now that I've got that adhesive sheet on the back, I can punch it out. And I did this, for 48 antlers. And then I had this pile of antlers and I thought, oh boy, now I have to pair them up and make sure that these little knobblies are in opposite sides. Oh, you guys. My dad phoned me and he's like, hey, what are you up to? I'm like, you'll never believe it, but I'm sorting out little paper antlers to make sure that I've got matching pairs. Crazy. So now, of course, we can just peel off that backing and it turns it into a sticker. And my family, they just go, okay, whatever floats your boat. And I'm like, well, this doesn't exactly float my boat. I wouldn't choose to be sorting out antlers, but it beats working in an office, that's for sure. I think I have a pretty good job here at home with my kids. And I'm just punching out antlers, right? So I hope you guys had fun finishing up that card. I know that everyone's is going to look different because you're all using different supplies to create these different looks, but maybe I've inspired you to kind of try something new with those Stampin' Pastels, right? Let's do a little splatter technique. I'll leave those there for a second. And now we're going to go on to the last card here. Now, I'm going to preface this with, I hardly ever make you fussy cut. Hardly ever. This card includes fussy cutting. But you gotta, because it's just so stinking cute. So get out all your little pieces and you'll see that you have a little present and a little character. It might be a penguin or a fox or a snowman or this cute little polar bear. And now once, I'll get you guys started on this and then I'll show you the final project. And I've cut out already all the way around and I just wanted to show you this last little bit here. Because a little tip that I'm going to give you when you're fussy cutting is to keep your scissors stationary and to pivot around, just moving the paper. So you see that? And then when I get to the tip, I move back here. I never am using this section of my blade. I'm only using this section of the blade. And the reason is that no matter how good your scissors, of course it's not doing it right now, but no matter how good the scissors are, these ones will do it for sure. You can see how it snags the end of that cut. So I never use the tip of my scissors, although these tips are phenomenal on the Stampin' Up! Scissors. But I just use the middle of my blade and then pivot around by moving my paper. I've already cut this out because I didn't think that you guys wanted to watch me fussy cut out this cute little polar bear. Now, do I like his hair going up there? I might just cut that off. It looks a little bit weird. Nobody will know that it's supposed to be there. There we go. That looks better. Okay. That's a little game time decision there to give that little polar bear a haircut. So I've got the cute little polar bear and the present already cut out. You guys can get started on that. But let me show you what our finished project looks like. Are you ready for this? I almost can't even handle the cuteness. Oh, isn't he adorable? And you can see we've got iridescence on the present, which is cut from Designer Series paper. And we also have iridescence on that snowflake. And these come just like that. They come in big sheets, 6 to a sheet. And you can see the paper there is so shiny, so iridescent. And then we've also got some other sparklies on this card. So we've got a little strip here that peeks through. And we've got some of our bedazzled paper. This is from Sale-A-Bration and it's sold out. It's not available anymore. Just let me know if you had your heart set on it. And I'd be happy to try and get my hands on some more for you, okay? This Designer Series paper from the bottom there is also from the same package as the presents. So you can see they both have that kind of iridescent look. And they're going to have multiple different designs here. So you might have like a stripy iridescent, you might have a little snowman, you might have green, you might have blue. These are actually two of our in colors. This is our Misty Moonlight color and this is just Jade. But I love the freshness that it brings to this card. And it doesn't have to be a Christmas card. It can be a winter card, like a happy birthday card. It could be a thank you card. I just love these little characters. They're so cute. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to move these to the side. Oh, Bill, because I'm so happy that you're playing with the pastels and having fun splattering. That's just great. I'll put these guys over here. They look so cute, don't they? And you'll notice this is a regular card stock piece, and I've just cut a 1-inch strip off the edge there. So again, let's start with the easiest thing that we'll do, which is the bone folder scoring. So what I did was score it at 5.5 inches and then cut off 1 inch there so that we've got this kind of bit of a peekaboo. And it's fun to see it on the outside. I like when you open up the card, you get to still see it when you're looking at the inside. Okay, while I'm thinking of it, let's get started with that piece. So I'm going to take my piece of Designer Series paper, using my Stampin' Seal, just stick it onto the bottom here. There we go. Ta-da. Now the key is, for this next part, I'm going to show you something, okay? This is a 1-inch strip of Designer Series paper. This is a 1-inch piece that's been cut off here. So if I put this up here, it's just going to align perfectly. If I want my bedazzled paper to show, I can't put it aligning with the edge of that Designer Series paper because it's going to be completely hidden. So the way that I show it is I overlap it, okay? So half of it's going to be onto green and half of it's going to be onto the Designer Series paper. And you can blow me kisses if you want to. You're welcome for this. But I've actually put adhesive sheets already on the back side. So we talked about adhesive sheets not just for when you're die cutting, not just for when you're punching, but also for when you are just paper cutting and wanting to put on tiny little bits of paper. So now I've got that halfway on there. It's adhered half onto green, half onto Designer Series paper, so half of it pokes out through the bottom of this card, okay? Clear as mud. Hopefully I've caught you in time and you haven't adhered that so it's hidden. Now let's talk about something else here. Do you notice this little splatter? I have a friend named Michelle who, when she saw these layering diorama dies, she thought of making a fried egg. And I love that because my brain never ever thought about going there. But we used these a couple months ago to create a diorama card, like this 3D card which had layers that you peek through into like this beautiful forest. Now I also thought of these as being just a fun layer, like an alternative to our regular squares or circles, and putting this onto the front of a card. So I used the middle size. There are 3 smaller and 3 larger than the one that I've used, so just to give you a little bit of size reference. And this to me reminds me of like a snowflake splatter, when you throw the snowflakes and it kind of goes everywhere. So I really like this. I'm going to take it up a notch here. You guys can see, like, that would look cute, right? But can you see how much extra dimension adding just a bit of blue in the background here? Maybe you can see it a little bit better. I did a little bit more in depth here last night. You can see that blue in the middle there. We're going to use our blending brushes along with some ink. Now, if you had the matching Misty Moonlight, that would be very matchy-matchy of you. But, you know, you can use probably whatever blue that you have. I'm going to put this on. I'm going to try maybe just a little bit onto a scrap piece of paper just to make sure I don't have a big schmutz on there. And now, without re-inking it again, I can just apply it onto my cardstock. Now, is anyone noticing something a little bit different about this cardstock? Maybe you have. Oh, it's so pretty, isn't it? Okay, if you haven't figured out what the difference is, what I'm oohing and awing about, hold this piece, maybe the uninked side, next to, ooh, careful, next to your Whisper White from the last card that we did. So this card here, hold it next to the Whisper White, and you can see that this piece that I've cut out is actually from a different paper. It's called our Shimmery White cardstock, and it has a little coating on it, which makes blending ink onto it a lot easier. You can do fantastic watercolor techniques, but even just as a white piece of cardstock, it's so gorgeous. It really takes it up a notch because it's got that subtle shimmer actually ingrained within the paper. So that, I think, is a really awesome product for us to use, of course, around Christmas time when everything kind of has that shimmery sparkle to it. But you can use the shimmery cardstock for every occasion. I'm going to put my little splatter onto my card base here. Let's see, how did I do this last time? Something like that, I think. I left a little space up here because I really liked adhering this snowflake and having it hang over top of both the splatter piece. Can you guys see that? I put the snowflake on over top of the splatter piece, and then it also kind of overlays onto that part there. Now, if you wanted to have more fun with your Wink of Stella, like who wouldn't, right? I have another one here. Let's open this drawer. Rummage, rummage, rummage. Where my Wink of Stella? I usually have at least 3 around here. There we go. I've got this one over here. So if you want to add an extra little bit of sparkle, you can do that same kind of flicking technique and add a little bit extra to the background here. I didn't do that for my other ones, but a little bit of extra Wink of Stella never hurt anybody, right? Alrighty, so now we've got that Wink of Stella on there. It's looking dark right now. It's just going to dry to that platinum color. Let's take a look at these snowflakes. When you start pulling them out, they're actually quite resilient. They're almost like a plasticized paper, and then you can just peel it out. When I lost my mind, though, with these snowflakes was when I discovered that they had designed the middle of the snowflake to perfectly fit a large Stampin' dimensional behind. Mind blown. You guys too? Maybe not. I love coordination like that. That's just amazing, over the top. Now these come in that iridescent white color. If you wanted to change the color, you can use, of course, your Stampin' Blends over top of this. Blends are permanent ink, so they're just going to permanently color that, and you won't have to worry about it coming off on your friends and loved ones' hands. So I'm just going to glue that on there with my dimensional, and then it's overhanging onto my splatter and overhanging here. It kind of is loose, so that's why, you know, when you are storing it, it's really good to put it in that clear envelope. And then when you're rummaging through your cards, this isn't, you know, going to get damaged or something like that, right? Okay, so we're going to put this to the side because we're going to talk about this in a second. But there is so much more you can do with this too, okay? Get ready for it. Oh, so adorable. Okay, I'm going to just put these dies away so I don't lose one of them. Have you guys ever had that happen? Oh, when I had this little tiny die set, actually, it was back when we had the Sizzix products, thankfully, because we had a magnetic plate, and I ended up having to go through my huge recycling bin. Thankfully, I found it before the recycling went out, because then it would have just been gone. But I went through my recycling with like a huge bag, right? Like those enormous blue bags, a whole bag of that with my magnetic plate, and I managed to find a die that was this big because I heard ting and it magnetized directly onto my magnetic plate. That's when you just do a sigh of relief, right? So I managed to have my full complete set still. Isn't that cute? So adorable. That would be adorable just like that, but let's add on a saying. I've given you two options here, okay? You're gonna have to look through your collection and see what on earth stamps are going to fit in it. Maybe you use half of one of the longer ones. Maybe you put, you know, a saying just in the corner there, but this is probably going to be the hardest part of tonight, is figuring out what stamps are going to fit. Now, if you have Itty Bitty Christmas, that's going to be a good place to start, because that's a retired set, but it has a lot of very small Christmas sayings in it. But some of the other ones that are current are going to be Penguin Place. You can see lots of long little sayings in there. Whimsical Trees also has Let Your Heart Be Light. I might give that one a go. I don't know. We'll see here. And then Sweet Little Stockings is where Very Merry came from on this card here. Christmas to Remember. We've got Just a Short Mary. Oh, that might be the one for me tonight. Just since I'm live on the internet, I could make my life easy, couldn't I? Yes. I think I'm going to do that. So a little Mary from Christmas to Remember. And then from Words of Cheer, there's, what did I think here? There's Happy Wishes to You and Yours, right? Or Happy Christmas you could put together. And then Merriest Moments is where that joy came from. Where do I have that other card now? Oh, here. Joy. So nice and simple. I'm going to put that joy away so I don't lose it. Do you like how they're doing this now? So you can store your stamps. Now I know exactly which stamps I used, right? Because they're stuck onto the back here. But I really like that. Let's see. What did I say that I wanted here? Mary. I like that. Just simple. Now I am going to do some more heat embossing because I miss it horribly. I don't really do it very often anymore since we've been meeting online, but I love doing the heat embossing, and so I felt inspired to do heat embossing with white on this one. So a little Mary on there. I can hear the kids are just having a ball upstairs still. So Grandma's doing a good job keeping them entertained, happy, content, and not going to bed because 8:30 was bedtime, but you know what? I don't even care. They're having so much fun. So I'm taking my white embossing powder, just putting it over top of that Versamark. And again, about to blow your mind with this because when we heat emboss, it just turns totally magical. Oh, I'm going to show you something else. This is a pretty small little tag. When you're doing heat embossing, it can get quite hot, like I mentioned. It gets up to 200 degrees. So what I do is on the back side of the paper, I make a little dimensional into a handle, And then I can stick that onto some scissors or something like that and take that piece of paper away from my fingers and away from the heat tool. Take my fingers away from the heat tool, right? And you don't have hot little fingers. This also works really well for scooping up the embossing powder. I managed to hold this paper because I had a bit of a border around it, but you could also use this to like scoop up the embossing powder, right? And then like tap it off. That works really well. All right, now I've got my Mary. I'm gonna tuck that in right there. So cute. Adorable, right? So now, don't throw out this piece because you can do so much with it. Let's see here. Do I have just a piece of white cardstock? Yes. Again, with blending brushes, which we've already used today, we can use this as a stencil. So let's use Misty Moonlight just because we have it handy. And we're going to, oops, stay away card. We're going to do some sponging, or you can do some blending brushes over the top. Now you have to be careful. You have to be a little bit gentle. And I want to show you this. Rhonda last night reminded me of this. She's one of the stampers that joined last night for my Google Meet. Oops. That's the thing, you can't be too vigorous with these, right? You have to just be so gentle. She's been having a lot of fun. Oh, I did a little bit of a schmutz. That's all right. Blend that away. Oh, are you guys excited to see this? Maybe you thought about doing this, or maybe you haven't thought about it yet. But now when we lift that off, look it. Oh, you know what I would do? Actually, I'm happy that I had this happy mistake. I would take a Post-it note, do a full-size one. This one's cut down too much, but it'll give you the gist of it. And do a Post-it note just along the edge so that you don't get this little bit of a halo around it. Isn't that beautiful though? How spectacular. So if you did it that way, that would help to hold it in place as well. So it would kind of kill two birds with one stone. There we go. So if I had that big Post-it note all the way along this side, I wouldn't have the little bit of over inking that happened there. And then I also would have it stay in place a little bit better. Love, like, yes, me too. Blending brushes, they come in a pack of 3. I think they might not be back ordered anymore, but let me know if you're interested in those. Place your order and we'll get those to you as soon as we can. I even have maybe a set that I could spot you while we wait as well. Okay, let's talk about the things that we use to create these beautiful cards. Put those to the side, clean up my space a little bit. See, I hope you like that I included 2 of these. Like maybe you had a saying that's more long, maybe you had a shorter saying that was a little bit taller. I tried to give every single person a long and a short one of those. And everyone's got a different shape pretty much. Because I used this die pack, which, well, it's actually a die pack that includes only 1 die. But that 1 die has so many different shapes. So to prep for 2 people to receive, or sorry, for 1 person to receive 2 tags of each, I think I only ran this through maybe 5 or 6 times. It was incredible. So this one, of course, is one of the longest. I think it is the longest one. There are some long ones, and then there are some shorter ones too, and lots of these have stitching. So I'm going to just go ahead and take you straight to the annual catalog, where I want to point out that we've got 2 stamp sets that coordinate with this die pack. This is so unique because it's all connected. It's as 1 die, but it cuts out all these different shapes. And when that really works to our advantage is when Stampin' Up! Capitalize on its coordination. So they've created these 2 stamp sets, which have a whole bunch of different sayings, but are only 1 stamp. Only 1 stamp. So when you ink this up and you stamp this, you're going to get a whole sheet about this big, full of sayings. And then when you overlay this die, they've included little shapes like hearts and stars, and you just coordinate the location of those hearts and stars onto your stamped image, and then you crank it through your Big Boss, and it cuts out all of these tags with the sayings perfectly centered. Amazing. Mind-blowing. And now we have a second one. So we initially had the many messages, now we have many happenings. So you've got even more tags. And people are putting them, like creating in different colors of paper, different colors of ink, and then organizing them in the little like hardware organizers that have like the little cubby holes, right? And then they have a tag whenever they need it. So they can grab a card, and maybe they didn't put, you know, maybe it's this one, maybe it's, what other one did we do today? Oh, I buried them. Here. This is maybe a better example. They could create this card and, you know, maybe not Christmas, right? And then when they're ready to send it, they could find in their little box of sayings the perfect saying to go with that perfect person, and then they put that little tag right on top, ready to go. I love that idea. Okay, we also use the heat embossing, so we kind of talked about that. We used the basics this time, which includes that white, as well as clear and black. And we used Wink of Stella on this one again. What did we use here? Oh, blending brushes on page 129. And we use our shimmery white cardstock. This is on the same page. It's all white, so it kind of looks boring. Hopefully you're going here to check out the envelopes. And again, I recommend getting that clear 50 pack. Even if you're not planning on mailing them in the clear, it's really wonderful to store your cards with clear envelopes. And that's really cost effective. Clear, 50 of them for $8.25. So cheaper than all the other ones and with more of them in there. The vellum is on this, the fluid 100 watercolor paper, window sheets, linen, and of course the shimmery white cardstock, which we use to create our snowflake or our snow splatter here. And then, what do we do on this page? Oh, I wanted to point out these scissors, because maybe you've been crafting a while and maybe you thought, oh, I have scissors. Like, I can just use the scissors that I have. And I really want to suggest that you invest in the pair of the little paper snips. $13.50. These are going to change your life. The tip is so fine on them and they stay so sharp. I have about 13 pairs and I've been a demonstrator now for over 14 and a half years. And prior to the last year and a half, I had all in-person events. So you can imagine these scissors are very well loved. I have never had to sharpen them. The only thing that I have to do occasionally is take some Goo Gone and get the adhesive off of them, and they are so sharp. So honestly, invest in yourself and make fussy cutting and snipping so much easier. Add that to your order. Sale-A-Bration is a perfect time to do that. On page 163, you can see the layering diorama dies, and that's what created that beautiful snow splatter. Now, what else did we use here? From our mini catalog, we used from this fantastic page. I love the Whimsy and Wonder Suite. It's so pink and purple and fun. We've got Polished Pink, Blushing Bride, Mossy Meadow, Mint Macaron, Misty Moonlight, and Iridescent. Now, do you guys want to see the rest of that paper pack? It's really great. So, of course, we used on my samples here, there's this iridescent holly. And I love the non-traditional, that the holly berries are actually pink instead of the traditional red. And your presents came from, look at this big sheet. Isn't that fun? Cutting a strip of that would be great, but can you believe that, you know, we probably got over 60 presents that are full. Like, that doesn't even include the ones that are half cut off, right? When I was cutting this apart, I was shocked at how many we could get from one sheet of paper. So also featured on one of my samples is this iridescent stripe. And again, it gets me so excited because it's white and that means we can turn it into whatever color that we want. And wouldn't it be beautiful? Maybe let's do this. Do I have a smaller sheet of it? Nope, have to just go with the big one, I guess. Let's get out that blending brush again. and see what it looks like when we turn it blue. I have a little bit of ink left on there. Is it going to be enough? No, I need to re-ink. I love these blending brushes. They're just so much fun. There we go. Oh, I want it even darker than that. I have to go in for more. I thought I was going to be good. There we go. So the blending brushes can be really subtle. This is quite a dark color, and even still, like, I had to apply more ink to get it to be more saturated. Isn't that fun? Again, you can turn it whatever color that you want. Okay, I was halfway through showing you a paper capture before I got sidetracked by sparkling things. Let's take a look here. We've got beautiful ornaments. Isn't that pretty? Do you see? I spy. Cute little deer. Coordination. That goes with the deer pack now, doesn't it? And then this one here, the camera is not going to pick up this color, but it's this beautiful, what color did I say? Oh, mint macaron is the color. I guessed it as soft succulent last night, but it's quite a fine detail, and then it's got those iridescent stars on there. This is a really fun sheet. All beautiful iridescent stars, or snowflakes onto this pink background. And the back sides of these are so beautiful too. Like, this is kind of a distressed mint macaron. And this one's got little trees. And did I show the back side of this one? I don't think I did. So like mossy meadow. And some more pink. This one must be polished pink. Yeah, love, 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 right? This one is, I'm sure, going to go back ordered soon. So don't wait until the Christmas season to actually get this Christmas product, because we're going to want it before then. So again, that is the Whimsy and Wonder 12 by 12 designer series paper. It's got those iridescent touches on there. And then, of course, we've got those snowflakes, which we fell in love with. You can use those as a stencil. You can use those just on their own. And they actually come with a lot of extra iridescent sheet on there too. So you could cut all kinds of things out of there for die cutting, or, you know, with punches even too, right? And that whole sheet is iridescent. Love it. Okay, and the final products that I'm going to show you. Well, I don't think I showed you the back of this piece here. The little holly berries. The final products that I'm going to show you are from our Sale-A-Bration, which has disappeared. Where's my Sale-A-Bration catalog here, guys? Like, utter chaos on this desk right now. I'm going to have to start putting stuff on the floor. It's gotten to that time of the night where I have to just start putting things on the floor. I have no idea where I put my Sale-A-Bration catalog. I don't have one there. Like, I did show it to you. It did exist on this table. That's a mystery, I think. Do I have one up there? No. Do I have one there? No. Okay, let me show you what you can choose for Sale-A-Bration. I can't show you in the catalog, I guess, but I can show you in person. So this is the Be Dazzling designer series paper. It comes 6 inches by 6 inches. You get 8 sheets in here. And this is, again, not orderable from Stampin' Up! Anymore, but I might be able to track some down for you, okay? So just let me know if you're interested. Isn't it fun? It's like disco glimmer paper. It's chunkier than that, but the chunks don't come off. Like, you can scratch it and it stays on there. So for those glitter lover haters, they love it, but they hate the mess. Don't worry, this is not going to make your house messy. So you can choose this with a $60 order. Then we've also got our penguin, playful penguins? No, penguin playmates. There we go. Now, we used this a couple months ago to create our little pillow box, and we use the smaller pattern here. So you can see the scale of this pattern is a little bit smaller. Some of them have pink background, some of them have blue background, some of them have green background, and then they're a little bit different pattern. Now the ones that we used tonight for this month's clubs are actually this one here, which has a larger pattern. You can see the scale of it, right? The little characters are quite a bit bigger on these patterns. So you got 3 options for the smaller pattern and 3 options for the larger pattern. And I used these ones here, these 2, and then there was a 3rd one here. And I wanted to point out, we have a penguin punch that you can sneak in here and perfectly punch out this penguin. Isn't that adorable? The back sides of these are really neutral. They don't have to be for winter or Christmas at all. Aren't they great? And then you can see the back sides here. Again, this one's got trees on it, but trees are evergreen all year round, so it doesn't have to be for Christmas. We've got some polka dots and some fun little snowflakes or little stars. These would be great for a child's birthday, or frankly even my birthday. I love these kind of colors. I think they're so much fun. So again, make sure you select these before they are gone at the end of the month. So all of our Sale-A-Bration products are gone at the end of the month, or maybe sooner. The Designer Series papers and the Bedazzling and the dies are all manufactured overseas. So once they're sold out, they're sold out. If you're deciding between, you know, what to get this week and maybe placing an order right at the end of the month, then choose the papers to get now and then receive the stamp sets later at the end of the month. Those ones will be available to order right up into the deadline there. Okay, whew, what a night that was. We made so many fun projects. I have to show all 3 of those because they are just the cutest, aren't they? But I want to know, which ones do you like the best? So use your fingers, type really fast. Do you like the flowers? Do you like the deer? Or do you like these fun little characters with the snowflake? So flowers, deer, snowflakes. I'm sure you guys all have a special place in your heart for these little treat boxes, but we're not going to include those in the vote because I know that you love cards. That's what you signed up for, right? So use your fingers, type in really fast, and while we're finishing up here, I just want to thank you again. I really am heartwarmed that you choose to spend your time with me crafting, and I know that these events are, oh Bilkis, all of them in all capitals. Thank you, Bilkis. I'm just heartwarmed that you want to spend your time with me, and because I really want to spend my time with you. I'm so grateful for the opportunity for us to connect, and this medium makes it so easy. We can be wearing stretchy pants, pajamas, cuddling cozy in our homes. I know for me it's incredible because I have children, small children, and so it means that I don't have to hire an outside babysitter. I don't have to leave the house. I don't have to pack up. And, you know, in terms of having you guys all over, I want to, but I also have 2 kids who I can't get vaccinated. So I am so grateful for this opportunity. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me, because I really do feel as soon as I see your names up there, I feel like we are connected. So thanks again, you guys. Have a great night, or when you're watching this, it could be the morning, it could be the middle of the night. Thanks for joining me, and hope to stamp with you again very soon, okay?